Hello. What happened?
Train struck our vehicle there at the crossing.
Oh,
She's already to the hospital.
oh my gosh. Okay. Well, at least they're okay, because usually train versus car does not end well. Okay, you heard it from the Metro guy. This is a train stop. Somebody tried to beat a train and got hit, but he said she's okay. God bless. That explains the helicopter then. So sorry if I scared a few of you friends. I didn't hear sirens, so, and usually I can hear the sirens from my house. I don't live too far from here. Sonia G, you made it, yay! This was not how I was planning to start my live. When I was in the Uber, there was a couple of cops that were pulled up over here. They just took off. Maybe they know I'm live and didn't want to be asked questions. But thank God the lady's okay. Oh my dear goodness. I hope it's no one I know. I have a lot of the elderly clientele because of the shift that I work. Hug Life! Joko, I saw you, Big Chief, sorry. Anonymous player, why are you still gray? What the fuck? Okay. Now you're not gray anymore. That's not right. I don't know why Anonymous player was gray. Let's see if we can get him to answer some questions. I mean, we already got the answer from the Metro guy. And hopefully it's not the scary cop that I questioned about if he was going to help ICE. Hi, officer. What happened?
We had a vehicle in a train incident.
Is the person okay?
Yes.
Oh, thank Jesus.
A good outcome.
Good. That usually doesn't happen when it's car versus train, so it's always good to hear a good outcome. I don't know why people always try to go over the tracks. You know, it's not worth it. A girlfriend of mine growing up, her brother was in a car that decided to do that and did not have that great of an outcome. My cousin was killed at 14 years old just going home because she didn't see the other train coming. It's not worth it. Thank you. So that's the train people. They blocked it off to make sure that, you know, everything was safe. That officer was very nice in telling me what was going on. We live in a very small town here, so let me show you a memorial. So years ago, unfortunately in the early 90s, there was a horrible bus accident with children. This is a memorial to those children that passed away that day. Here, I don't want to step on anything. So you can read the plaque. Those are the name of the children that were on the bus that day. And this was in 95. As you can see, people still here. I believe all those angels are for all the children that were on the bus that day. So again, when the gates come down, it's not worth it to try and beat that train. Today, the lady got lucky. In 95, these kids did not. That's why we have signs all over the place saying $500 fine for any motorist or pedestrian who violates railroad warning devices. It's just not worth your life, people. Okay, light's about to change. Thank you for coming in. I look a hot mess. So I told Sonia G and L Wolf's live that I was going to go live because I do have some stuff to say, but I saw this at Uber and I was like, ooh, I got to go and see what's going on. Because earlier I scared a couple of friends, telling them I think a helicopter landed by my house, thinking it was ice. But on that term, I got the great pleasure of going to, oh my God, my hair is a mess. I got the great pleasure of going to Broadview to stand up for the rights of the people that are locked up in there. And I plan on going back. But I think Portland's got it right with those frogs and those inflatables. We've had a couple of inflatables pop up here and there over the weekend. The day that I was there, a great friend of mine, I'd like to think now, here on YouTube, Corn Freak, she does a lot of audits over by the Scientology buildings downtown and in her area. I got to meet her in person. I was so excited. Joe Cool, you're awesome. She was in an alien costume that was kind of like, it was half. So it was blown up more down in her lower portion than it was all over her body. And then the chicken. The chicken kept on saying that ICE was pissed off because their cock was bigger. It was hilarious. They even had a squeezable. So I would like to go on my next visit to the Broadview ICE facility as the Chicago T-Rex. I found an inflatable on Amazon. It's only $35. I have to buy a 4-pack of AA batteries. Right, Broccoli? How are they going to say we're not peaceful if we're showing up in costumes? Yesterday there was some costumes of Cookie Monster, a weird looking penguin, what else? Winnie the Pooh. So I want to participate in this in Chicago, especially at the ICE facility. So if somebody can throw up my Cash App and if you guys could help me get to the goal of $35 so I can get the T-Rex for the next time I go to the Broadview ICE facility, I would love you. With the cost of living and everything, my retirees aren't coming out as much, and I don't blame them. They're on a fixed income. I had a couple that I love and adore come in on Saturday night towards the end of my shift, and she's like, I can't get over the cost of food. She's like, I can't believe how little we got and how much we spent. I've got one on my wish list in my Amazon for $35, Public Press. But thank you. The one that I got would show up in like 2 days. So I'm not planning on going there again until probably this Friday. And there's also a thing where they're trying to get everybody to come on Halloween, which is also a Friday, in inflatable costumes. But I think it's a great protest. And then I'm going to hang a sign around my neck that says, I drank my horchata warm because fuck ICE. I might even stop at a Mexican place and get the cup that actually has horchata. Because I love that stuff. Ooh, that's something I don't see every day. So that's a Metro police officer. I didn't know they had their own police force that come out to accident scenes. So that is my plan. ICE facility, and I wanted to share it with you who get to come to my lives and see what I do. I may need help and going live. I might be live inside of it, give you guys the outside perspective. But we'll have to see how loud it gets inside that costume. And from what I'm reading about the reviews on those, everybody's saying that it's way cheaper than going to like Spirits or maybe even Sam's Club, because they're selling them for, I guess, $60 and up. The patrons of my bar are rude. I don't even know where this Coors can came from, but that's next door and that's uncalled for. So what is everybody else up to today? I don't see chat moving, so either it froze or you guys stopped talking. That's okay. They're doing some horrible stuff to people outside of costumes as well. I've actually seen something public press. I think it might have been Portland, maybe Chicago, where jerk-ass ICE agent took the gas and put it in the fan aspect of the costume that the person was wearing. Ooh, lunch. I have to still have breakfast, Hug Life, and coffee. Thank you, Sonia G. Trust me, I know times are tough on everybody. And I am not going to hate if you guys can't help me. I'll figure out a way if I have to, but Batman's got bills. I got to pay those pressing matters. What did I think of the flock of cameras? What, at the ICE agency? I think it's great. Our governor told us to go and document everything that's happening. Oh, that's a YouTube channel? Why not? There's the, I haven't seen them in a while. The PDF Elves. There's the Shit Show. They're tracking us no matter what, public press. As soon as we turn on our phones are trackable. The only way these things become untraceable is not even when you turn your phone off. You have to rip the battery out, and we can no longer take our batteries out. So what does that tell you? The cameras used by ICE. Oh, there was way worse there, public press. Number 47 sent his minions from the round table. I got the unpleasantness of meeting Cam Higby, aka Timu Charlie Kirk, and his little minions, Nick Shirley. In fact, it was funny when my friend was calling him a bitch, and as they were walking off, I told him to go and hang out a couple of towns over with Nick Fuentes, because he supposedly lives in Berwyn. And he goes, Nick blocked me. Yeah, because you're a douchebag. Nobody likes you. You don't even know what year's elections go, bro. 2028. That's why you guys are all stupid. Thank you for coming in, El. I'm going to make you a mod. He may not be alive at the end of this year. And this fool's calling for 2028. Dumbass, the next election's 2026. You people, uneducated, low IQ. You call us dumb. So, I'm sure I'll be getting Timu Charlie Kirk's trolls in here. I'm sure they had a blast watching me on his live that he was at. And that's okay. Because I have moderators in here, and eventually we'll get tired of listening to you going to Trump 2028. We're all just basically laughing at you. No, thank you, El Wolf, for doing what you're doing in LA. You're doing the same thing in LA that I'm trying to do here in Chicago, make sure my people are okay. Aw, did JS give up already because he realized, oops, I mistyped? So, like I said, gonna show up at the Broadview facilities as a T-Rex when possible, with a sign hanging around my neck saying I drink my horchata warm because fuck ice. And with a cup of warm horchata. Because horchata, cold or warm, best stuff on earth. Could be. You never know nowadays, Hug Life. You never know. The trolls are real. I was talking to Joe Cool this morning through text, and I'm like, dude, man, my shorts come up way more than like my videos and my lives. I'm like, I had one live where I capped off at like 22K. I'm like, that was probably my best live ever. He's like, yeah, that usually happens for people who don't have like thousands and thousands upon subscribers, which I guess makes sense. He needed a nap, Hug Life. He can come back next live to sit there and spam my chat, Trump 2028. Dumbasses. I was trying to talk to somebody in real life that I'm a mod on their channel. I'm like, look, I need to know what's your cap off. What do you want for people to get timed out, booted, whatever? What's your threshold? And I'm still trying to get that answer, but I told them, I'm like, look, this is your channel. I'm here to protect and do what I'm supposed to do. But at the end of the day, this is your channel. So I'm not going to just go and zap people. So hopefully they'll give me an answer soon. 100% anonymous player, 100%. Spirit in the sky, I'm trying. That's why I'm here. In case you're just coming in, I was just telling the chat that my next visit to the Broadview facility, I want to do in a blow-up costume as a T-Rex. Portland has the frogs, I want to be the Chicago T-Rex. You know what? It's kind of funny. It's so true. And with my analytics anonymous player, I get to see who stays and watches versus who just swipes away. And it's kind of funny. My Temu Charlie Kirk ones, people were more susceptible to stay and watch. It's probably his fucking minions going, oh my God, see what a liberal. Joe Cool, what up? I was just talking about our chat this morning. I was telling Joe Cool, I'm like, I got a plan. And he's like, well, is it a secret? And I'm like, no, I will tell you. Always a pleasure to have you, Joe. Again, I flippin' love that you and Freeman Liberty let me hang with you guys. You guys keep me level-headed. Well, you try to keep me level-headed and safe. You guys always got my back. Much love to you guys. I still think that was funny in the car when I was doing that live, and I told you who Hug Life was, and then you turned around and we're like, well, then here is a for real high. I know you do, Joe. And right back at you. You always got mine and Duper's back. You're a true friend and a true ally in this fight we're in. 100% united we stand. We're going into my old bar. It's dark in here, people. I gotta turn lights on. Well, I'm glad that the helicopter that I heard and saw fly over me was more for that accident, because I think I scared a couple of people, telling them, you know, I'm not sure what's going on. Damn it. Why do they do this? Fucking assholes. Okay. Hold on, peeps. I gotta play with cords. Because the kid who worked last night threw them all over the place. They just need to stay plugged in, and you turn the on and off switch on. Ooh, look at that. Modern technology. It's lost on a lot of people. Okay. Big Chief, thanks for coming in. We're turning on lights at my job. We were just checking out the aftermath of a car versus train. But happy to report that the lady is okay. It usually does not happen when it comes to car versus train. That's why we don't go past the gates and try to beat the train. It always wins. It's like a semi truck. I should finish that sentence. Semi truck. Some of you fools have misconstrued semi. Make sure the lights are on. Is anybody home? Oh my God, my boss actually. He sealed it up. Damn it, it was funny. It said Kyle, his dad didn't love him. And could I ask why in any public setting you use a urinal and you don't flush? It's just wrong. Be kind to your bartenders. Tip them well. You don't know the struggles we go through. But yeah, I think it would be awesome to be a T-Rex with the sign around me, walking around that facility. Everybody was loving the chicken. The chicken was on point. Okay, those are on. We got a new pizza cutter. I was just bitching about that the other day. Somebody broke it, lost it, whatever. Ooh, we got two. Fancy. But yet he still has not got me bar rags. Okay. Sorry, Chad, I had to put you down for a second because I have got... Well, I guess we don't have garbage bags. Hopefully my boss is providing them today. So I guess I'm going to turn you guys around this way so you can see what I'm doing. Oh! And you fell in the sink. My bad! What I really love about our community is, like, We went to the ICE facility earlier in the day, and we decided after a while, let's go see what we could find. So we leave, and one of our friends ended up popping up at the facility, so we went to go and back him up. Now, we were in back of the yards or something, I think, at that point, but we still made it out in time to hook up with him and make sure he was okay. Because the protesting, they got signs there. Joe was tripping out because we were trying to get video or pictures of it, but what we were seeing when you would take the pictures, or I would put my camera while I was live over there, you would only see just a little bit of what it was saying. It wasn't putting, you know, the protest times that we were trying to show. And you can only protest from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. But once you leave the facility and cross over onto 25th, they kind of stand around, and Saturday got a little crazy during the day more than during the night, but at nighttime, I think Friday night, we didn't leave there till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So we were still all standing around and, you know, doing what we were doing peacefully. My friend was sitting there telling Timu, Charlie, and Nick Shirley that they flew all the way here just to be called bitches, which kind of got proven in the end, because Saturday, Timu Charlie Kirk got into two women's faces and found out how Chicago men protect our women. That kid got so scared he hopped on a plane and went back home. So he was just there with his distractors to show our faces in the crowd, to put us on lives so we can all be shown to the people in power that he has ears to. Because days before coming to Broadview, he sat at a table with DJT and a couple of other tech bros. I don't even know how to do this. And number 47 couldn't even stay awake for the meeting. They've got clips and stuff of him sitting in there and him falling asleep. So, was he really listening, or was he just there for show? Who knows? But these kids, unfortunately, have just a phone call away from people that can harm people like me, people that can harm people like me in my community. They're not only just going after people like me. I mean, in heavy areas they are, but now they're also starting to pull black people off the street. Don Lemon was showing this morning on his live an interview he did with a guy on the south side who is taken from his home. A United States citizen taken from his home. Remember, again, this is supposed to be about taking out the bad people. They're targeting our schools. There are people now in certain communities that have whistles and are standing outside schools to make sure children get home into school safely. I see in chat people saying that this is happening because we didn't let our government into Cook County. Cook County Jail only probably houses a small fraction of the people that they're looking for. And why? Why would we let you into the county jail? You have all the information. So it's like, why do you need to be let in the jail? Which leads me to, you want to be let into Cook County Jail, but yet you won't let Tammy Duckworth or Senator Dick Durbin into the ICE facility to see how horrible it is. If you guys subscribe to Don Lemon and go and watch his live from this morning and hear how this guy talked about what it was like inside, he said it was worse than Cook County. Now, for those of you who don't live here, if it's worse than Cook County, that's really bad, because Cook County is fucking horrible. I know a wonderful group that I was introduced to, Joe Cool, if you're still in the chat, please post the people that sit outside and help the inmates that get thrown out of there at 3 o'clock in the morning in sub-zero weather with no way to get home. These are problems in our community. These are the problems of our people. Not that we're all walking around shooting each other like the media tries to portray us to be. So, do we have problems here in Illinois, in Chicago? Yeah. Do we have as many problems as some other states? Fuck no. I think Gavin Newsom proved that when he started showing those flashcards of where it's far more worse in the red states. They need to focus on those places. We were doing just fine. In fact, we were on a decline of crime. And now look at us. Now look at us. It's ridiculous. So it's hard for Batman to sit here and gain the knowledge that I'm gaining through the political channels that I'm watching, and then also following people like Mercado Media and El Wolf in California and seeing what's going on and not do something. This isn't right. The fact that that dog killer, Kristi Noem, was like 20 minutes away from here, like I think 2-3 weeks ago now, pulling people apart and arresting parents taking their kids to school at like 5-6 in the morning. Yeah, you're here for the worst of the worst. You're here to make your quota. Sorry, chat. I gotta turn this around so this way I can see you, because I'm sitting here just going off. Blazer, good to see you. Send my love to the family and my beautiful Cowboys Nation. Gregory, thanks for coming. I was just talking about stuff that's going on in my area and neck of the woods. For those of you coming in, I'm trying to get $35 together, so the next time I go to the ice facility, I'm dressed as a T-Rex. I want to be the Chicago T-Rex. Portland has the frogs. What happened, Gregory? I heard a couple of things. I'm just so hyper-focused right now on Chicago. But I've heard something about a bar shooting people were killed in more recently. I don't remember where they said that it was. Was that Ohio, Gregory? Ah, my lemons. Sorry, guys, I'm putting stuff away and getting stuff ready. Okay. Think I got everything? Did I not grab that? Damn it, Jim. There it is. If you could post my Cash App, if anybody could help me get to my $35 goal to order my T-Rex, I will love you. But like I said, I understand times are tough for everybody. D. Johns, thank you for coming to my live, lovely. PayPal, Cash App, either or. Come on, D. Johns, tell me that I wouldn't look adorable as a T-Rex. I think I would look awesome. I already have a musical short that I have in my head. My nephew who I stay with in his house, he's got a little guitar. Oh my God. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I got to keep an eye on the clock always. Because opening time soon. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out and giving the likes. I got 18 people in here and 17 likes. That means I'm loved. I hope you guys are appreciating the shorts that I've been putting out. The lives that I've been doing, either being cop watch or just being silly. I love to be silly. Right? So D. Johns, not only will I have this T-Rex costume, right? I'll have a sign hanging around my neck that says, I drink my horchata warm because fuck ice. And then I'm going to have a cup of warm horchata. Because gotta stay in character, right? Thank you, L Wolf. I appreciate it. I've been on here since 2010. And I was telling Duper a while back ago. I'm like, I throw up all this cool music that I personally love from like Riot Fests and concerts that I go to. And I'm like, I barely crack anything. And now doing just life and stuff, I seem to gain more on views and on my shorts. People love my dog, 8 pounds of angry. You guys would love her more on the short than in person. She's kind of a dick. But look who she lives with! She matches her mama's spirit. She is definitely my spirit animal for sure. But today's kind of slow, I think, because it's raining outside. So I don't know if people, at least the people that were there over the weekend, I think Don Lemon's back at home. So I think he's back in New York. I don't know if Jolly is still here. I was kind of hoping that they would stay for the No Kings March. But I totally respect the fact that if they're going to do it, they want to do it in their community, It was a pleasure and honor to have Don Lemon come and document all the stuff. Same with Jolly. Mercado Media. There's another one I'm forgetting. Something Corp. That guy's really good. I got to meet a lot of great people. Broken System, Broken Trust. Welcome in. We're just hanging and chilling for a few more minutes before I open up the bar with this horrible hairstyle. I mean, how can you trust me with different colored hair? I still laugh at the fact that Joe Cool passed Riot Fest and was like, everybody looks like Batman! I was definitely home. I gotta look and see how much ice I have. Because even though I say fuck ice, my patrons do not because they like them in their drinks. So we're going to go down in a 100-year-old basement. Ready, people? Tell me that doesn't look like a place that you're taken down to be murdered in. This is where I work every day. This is where we hide the bodies. Well, not now because the cooler's broken. But yes, this building's over 100 years old. And we've gone through the back sometimes. My boss has got some really cool stuff from stuff that's been here throughout the years. This always makes me laugh. Because I don't know if you can... Okay, you can kind of see them. These are stairs that lead to nowhere. I'm assuming they up to the floor. But at one point, these stairs were used to go up and down the stairs. So yeah, 100-year-old bar, people. As of last year. Now you get to watch me murder ice. The actual ice, so I'm not put on a list. See? Ice cubes. Gotta be specific because I can get knocked off of YouTube for something stupid. and you would figure with all that's going on in the videos that I see that that wouldn't be a far off statement. But the sad reality is they want to murder us, and they have murdered us. They murdered a man in Franklin Park. Tried changing the narrative about him being a danger on the streets because of some of the traffic charges he had, and that turned out to be false. They tried saying that the ICE agent was in extreme danger. That turned to be false. And now there's a father dead. I just read a heartbreaking article the other day that his kids were taken and put in foster care. Foster care because they murdered him. They're now being brought back to Chicago, thank God. I couldn't imagine. You know, I had my mom murdered at 18 because of domestic violence. It wasn't because of some immigrant. It was some asshole who beat her to death, who was an American citizen. And I'm glad that I was 18, but I couldn't imagine being those children. My friend Duper Trooper was there in the aftermath, and he came across the person who was very visibly upset after finding out what happened because she knew one of the children. But to have your world turned upside down, your father murdered coldly in the streets by ICE agents, and then you're taken and put into a foster home. What the fuck kind of justice is that? Sorry, Chad, I can't see you at the moment because I'm breaking ice. Okay. This is where we get to go upstairs, people. But in order for me to do that, there we go. But yeah, seriously, where's the justice in that? Those poor kids were, their whole lives changed in a matter of moments. All because their dad wanted to make sure they safely got to school. And the next thing they know, they're taken from their friends, everything they know. It was kind of funny because when we went back to go back up Duper Trooper, he was talking to Timu Charlie Kirk minions, and there was an older guy. I mean, he had to have been, if I had to peg his age, he had to have been late 30s, maybe early 40s. If he was any younger, I would have been personally surprised. He was definitely an older dude hanging out with these assholes, right? And I brought up this, and he goes to pull it up, and he starts spitting out the narrative that they were trying to say that he was shooting at the ICE officer. There was no gun found. Then he started talking about the traffic infractions and stuff, and that didn't happen. I'm like, he goes, it's right here on the internet. If you go to Duper Troopers live, and I think my last live on Friday, you'll see me talking to him and telling him, oh yeah, it's on the, he goes, it's right here. And I'm like, yeah, it's on the cult internet. It must be true, right, bro? And I'm like, look up the thing about the ICE agent's body cam footage, because that's where it tells you the absolute truth. And then he tried to turn around and say, that I was right He actually admitted, I was shocked. He admitted I was right, and then he was trying to tell us that, he was neither left nor right. But when Timu Charlie Kirk and his crew started heading out, guess who he followed? Guess who he followed? So I turned to Duper and I'm like, he's not with us. Or I'm not with them, but I'm with them. So then me and Duper started fucking screaming at him. And he turned back around and he's like, oh, you're the ones filming. You're the ones still leaving with those fuckers. So yeah. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. Hello, Snark and Sass. Welcome in. Okay. Walk back down to Murder Basement. I didn't even see what you wrote, Spirit in the Sky, and you took it back! I'm just playing. I'm confused, Snark and Sass. So, one of the only things I loved in school was history. And I have lived through a couple of different impeachments, but not impeachments where the president was fully asked to leave the White House like Nixon. What he's doing right now is far worse than fucking what Nixon ever fucking did. Not saying that Nixon didn't do wrong, because he did. But where is the threshold? Where is that line that he's going to cross and we're going to be like, okay, we're finally ejecting him? Because he's crossed that line many times. But when you own the House, the Senate, and the White House, who are you going to go to? Duper, I have another question. So when I met him back in 2017 and we started becoming friends and I got more comfortable sharing things with him, I turned around and I asked him a question: who do you call when the cops kidnap you? Because I've been kidnapped by cops, and not because I have a warrant, not because there was a charge against me, because I was a bargaining chip for somebody else. So, with that said, Duper gave me the answer. He turned me on to this and started showing me auditors like AFA and Rogue Nation and Chuck and gosh, I'm trying to think all the way back because now I follow so many different people. It's hard to now determine who I was following in the beginning. But that was the answer he gave me. So I'm asking you again, Duper, who do we call? I need to know. You seem to have the right answers. It's madness out there. And they're trying to say that Chicago is so full of violence and our governor and Chicago mayor won't do nothing. They were doing something. They were busy bringing down the crime. And you just brought it way fucking up. It's all we can do right now, Snark and Sass. And with that said, do not think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is on our side. She is just looking for a platform so people will back her so she can run for president. Don't back that woman. She is vile. I'm glad that she is starting to see what we're seeing. Don't get me wrong. But I don't believe it's authentic. With her, it's always ulterior motives. I don't think a leopard could ever change their spots. And that leopard is one sick fucking leopard. I remember watching her screaming, and I mean screaming, at a Columbine victim, trying to tell them that never happened. Are you kidding me? The kid was in a wheelchair! Bleach blonde, butch body. Oh my God. Jasmine Crockett is the shit. That was fucking awesome. It was great when they panned over to the people in charge and the guy was trying to stifle his laugh because even he thought it was funny. Yeah, she's a piece of work. Vote her ass out too. Oh, I'm not crazy, honey. If you're in here to troll me because you're on the other side, you're the one that needs help with the cult. Not me. I mean, I'm crazy on other levels, but nope. It looks like Susan Dominguez has stepped up to the plate. Have fun with our trolls. I bet Susan Dominguez is one of those Karens that would definitely call ICE to try and have somebody deported. Get help. I love when people in a cult tell me to get help. Just like Cam Higby thought he caught himself an illegal when he got me on his live. Sucks to be you, fucker. And fuck you, Timu Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Y'all just spread hate. And on that note, I gotta let you guys go because I think a customer's coming and I don't want to put him on my live. Not because he's illegal, he's a white man, but he deserves the choice. He deserves my respect. So, keep it real out there. Thank you all for listening. You guys have a good rest of your day. Be disruptive.